Okay, thanks for inviting me to your little project here. I'm gonna do my best to answer the questions as general as I can without, having a little brain fart. But anyway, here goes. Who I work for? Well, I have my own company called Lil Critter Workshop, and what I do is I make cartoons. I make all types of cartoons, and it's fun times. Well, how I got started is I went into my first company. Well, when I went into there, they didn't even give me animation to work on, right? So I was sat at the side of corner there. I was just doing very simple stuff, just retracing and, clean up on certain areas. But after I, was doing that for like three months, I got my first proper animation shot. So after I got that, I was pretty much ecstatic to just, well, experiment and do, well, to a degree, what I want and see if it works. And to my surprise, it was glorious. My first time animating my first shot, I was so happy. But how did I get started in the field to a little bit more detail? Well, I guess as long as you have a particular interest in drawings, you could become an illustrator, you become an animator, either way. But once you start drawing, whichever path can actually work. We'll start with skills. So skills is, a knack for drawing. You like to draw. Two, you like watching people and you like watching things. So you just keep staring and kind of figure out, how things move. A bit creepy, but you gotta do that at some point. So if you want, you can go to the park and just stare at people, but don't stare too long. Observation skills, drawing skills, observation skills, but of course the most important one, which is patience, because you're literally trying to bring something to life through animation. So as long as you got these three, you're pretty much set to go. What's the other one? Education. This one is more of like a tough question for me, because when it comes to education for this actual field, I'm self-taught. I learned everything myself. I didn't really get taught animation properly in college, so it was just basically me, just goofing around with a pencil or paper or any particular animation programs to see what I can do and experiment. So what I did was I just looked at what was out there. I tried to imitate it, and then after I've imitated it, I try to experiment my way, and from there it pretty much just builds up to a stack of, okay, now I get how it works, let me do it my way and see what I can do to make it me. Well, for me, it's because when I was young, I was attracted to animation, right? I watched Western animation, which is basically like those Disney or particular superhero shows that was quite popular back then. And I like to watch Japanese animation, which is anime. So I was ecstatic when I first saw animation that I just kept watching cartoons my entire life, even till when I'm a teenager. Yes, you can still watch cartoons even though you're old, because there's so many variety of cartoons and animations out there that you will be spoiled for choice. But to get in specifics of what originally made me want to do my job, because I was just so mystified on how did these people manage to make one drawing come to life with multiple drawings. So I wanted to get into that, understand it. I like to build stuff. So animation is like an area where I see myself where, hey, if I cannot build a building, maybe I can build a cartoon. And for me, that just clicked with me and said, yeah, I'm going to go into animation. I'm going to make my own stories. I'm going to make my own characters. And let's just see what I bake out of that, mixing flour that I, put aside for, 10, 15 years. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit weird, but technically it hasn't really affected me much because, when I was young, I was pretty much, the kind of kid that just like watching stuff and like somewhat being in my own space and learn and learn and learn. And I go into this particular trance. And as an adult, it's pretty much somewhat of the same thing because when it comes to my lifestyle, I don't really do much. I do have a hobby, which is just painting miniatures, but that's kind of it. So I kind of just fill my time with just watching movies, watching animation, just doing a little painting here and there. And I divide my time a little bit wisely as I go because I know that yes, animation takes quite a bit of time to both learn and do, but technically nothing has really changed for me. I'm still the same person when I am, what, how long was it again? 15 years ago when I first started. Pretty much the same. You can tell because I still am a bit goofy. Okay, so what I enjoy about my job is, I think I've mentioned before, I don't quite remember, is I enjoy building stuff. So I like to build shows, I like to make animation, I like cartoons. So the joy of actually, working on something and doing your animation, and then at the end of it, actually see it come to life it's really, really a feeling that you cannot actually express because it's that satisfaction that you say, oh, I've already spent 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks doing this, and suddenly when I put everything together, it just comes to life. That's like a proud moment for me. Difficult. What do I find difficult? What I find difficult when it comes to animation is that yes, it does require a lot of patience, and that's something that you actually build out as time goes by. So it becomes an innate quality to you if you know how to manage it. It's more to that every year there are different ways of animating and different ways of doing animation, right? The basics are all the same, it's still there, right? But there's always someone out there that's found a way to tell a story or develop a story or how a character moves, how lighting, colors and shapes all kind of come together to tell whatever they have in their minds. That there's always something new every year, so you have to keep up and get with the times and see how things kind of improve as the years go by. And you have to take all that information and put it in your head and always try to remember that you need progress, improvement, and you got to keep doing that for as long as you are in the animation field. But it's not really a bad thing because with new stuff, there's always room to actually experiment. Well, there's actually a lot of tips, but I think I can be general with this one. I would say patience is like the ultimate thing, right? If you like art, you like to draw, you like cartoons, you like to do whatever I'm doing, patience and perseverance is kind of the key element to this particular field. So if you can bring to the table a very strong value of those things, you wouldn't have a lot of problem. Oh wait, hold on, I forgot. Also focus, because you gotta stare at things for a very long time to understand how things move. And also probably a huge chunk of memory that can be pushed aside and say, this is animation space, all that information, everything I'm going to learn as the years go by goes in here. So you got to make space in there for all that. But as the years go by, you're going to learn so much, and as you keep going, you'll be surprised of the things you can create just by a stroke of a pencil or a brush or a brush of paint on the screen. It's amazing. But do give it a try. Anyone can animate, anyone can create stuff, and anyone can bring life to a single stroke of a pencil. And for you guys, it only just takes just a few minutes to give it a try, to actually just bring to what's that to just bring a little bouncy ball alive. So I think that answers all your questions, I hope. But thanks for inviting me.